was driving back. I was just coming from Chandigarh to heading back to Delhi, and I had a thought about what happened last year, 2025. There was a big change that happened. What happened was that there was an event where a lot of the spiritual like, what do you call it? There was a build-up of spirituality, spiritual sattva in the country. There was a Ram temple was coming up, and then a lot of wave of bhakti had risen in the country, and there was just a lot of quest for spiritual knowledge, quest for spiritual gains, and all of a sudden there was. I mean, things were happening in Karnataka, but they were not happening all over the country. There was some sort of a gap. And suddenly there was something that one particular community in India, they decided that they're going to take charge and they're going to take over this particular light or this particular knowledge of enlightenment. And they organized an event where they brought one person from every zip code of Kerala to that event, and then they, as a community, they took together and used that light to give it to that land of Kerala. So they somewhat ate the spiritual knowledge before everyone else, and then the person who is responsible for it, Satyav Jata from Art of Living Foundation, he comes to me in a spiritual form, and he says that now something very bad is going to happen to you. So what does that mean? That means that he's taken away my fruit, and then he's given it to someone, and he's going to put the responsibility on my head. And then, for some reason, I was unperturbed, and I came down as a rishi to fix this. And when I took responsibility for this, I went away from the country, from that organization, and I went to Delhi, and I happened to do a small yagya at the Shankaracharya Peeth, at the Shankaracharya temple, Jayendra Saraswati's established temple, and which led me eventually to the yagya where I went to Kanchipuram and met the Shankaracharya in Kanchipuram, Jayendra Saraswati. And after that, the journey began of rectifying this problem. He started off with collecting all the Kamakshi temples that Jayendra Saraswati has established, starting from Dhaka to all the way to Guruvayur, all the way to other parts of the country. And then this particular aspect had to be taken care of, where this particular man and his messed up stuff had to be taken care of, and to quieten down the political dissent and then of course then a lot of people came and they were like, oh, we want to have sex with Kali, or we want to do all these things, and there was uproar in the country. People wanted to know why, how, all these things started to be questioned in the country. Then everyone wanted to know what is spirituality, and then the hunger was so strong that they wanted to figure out how to fix it. And then to fix it, why am I right now complaining about this? Because they recreated this problem. This problem was recreated because I recreated my life, which was perfected, and it recame, and then the same quest came again. And in the same quest, this man tried to make the same mistake again. And this time I didn't let it happen. And this time he tried to shove his knowledge to other people, to other Hindus, and he talked about Someshwara and Saurashtra and all that other kind of a deluded version of reality of what it was. So making that one last whole year into a delusional land that we call as India. And I will never, ever allow that to happen in our country. And that the whole point that happened after that was all these gurus in India started fighting amongst each other because of this sattva. They wanted to take care of the light, or they wanted to grab this knowledge, and everyone wanted to grab knowledge, whereas the fruit was already taken in Kerala. So they tried to break the country into all these pieces. And then that way I would like to give credit to Vijayendra Saraswati for taking the lead and making sure things don't go wrong in that aspect. And of course, Art of Living took care of whatever their particular community was, and it was just taken in a very, very bad way. And I am extremely angry and pissed off at this situation, because it keeps happening again and again, and he tries to take credit and try to rebuild his own karma, because, and then he tries to say, oh, past is karma, future is present, future is free will, and try to tell you that you should live by your karma. Let me tell you, mister, you should take care of your karma then. If this is your karma to break away the country, then who's responsible? You should be your responsibility. You should pay for it. And so I'm trying to talk about the present and you are trying to make another future with it. You're trying to rebuild the same animosity within the people of India and then try to rebuild a community together. Then let me tell you who rebuilt the country back again. Why was this country brought back together again? Who worked hard to make sure that this country had all the saints would come back together? That I will talk. That you figure out. Who it is. Yeah? But this is all I have to say.